Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Bit of a different video this week. I want to do a bit of a tech video because I know that when I'm looking at new tech for the channel, the first place I'll go and look at is YouTube. So I thought if this benefits somebody. If you're not interested in this kind of content, then obviously please click away and I'll see you guys on the next one. We'll be back on the motorcycles. There will be some motorcycles in this video, that's our promise. But anyways, what I want to talk about this week is there's two different ways that I capture audio from my videos. The first one is the Mic Mini, and what I do is I set that at -12 and I put that inside my Shoei NXR2, and I leave the noise cancellation off and at -12 in the helmet, and that seems to work really well and picks up some of the bike audio, which is great. And then for some of the POV videos that I've been doing, I use the DJI Mic 2. And the main reason I use this, because it's obviously a much bigger microphone and this won't fit in the helmet, which is why I use the Mic Mini. This has 32-bit float recording, so what that does is that records straight onto the device as well, so it kind of gives you a backup recording, which I tend not to use too often, but if the audio clips at all, then you've got a backup recording which will never clip, so it gives you that reassurance. Also, this has a much stronger magnet, so it actually stick this on the Swingarm on the GB, or I use the clip and I stick it onto the seat strap on the Motovlog, and that works really well. But I've been waiting for something to come out, and I've been seeing rumors for it for ages, and you'll notice that the audio that I'm using for this right now is actually right here, and this is the DJI Mic 3. And what I'm hoping is that this little microphone will replace both the DJI Mic Mini and the DJI Mic 2, because it's the best of both worlds. So this also has 32-bit recording, so I can record straight onto the device. So I can use this for bike audio, but I can also use it for in the helmet because it's small enough to fit. And actually, it's a little bit smaller and a little bit thinner, if you can see the two devices next to each other. And there's another reason why this is even better for the in-helmets, is actually it comes with a clip that's actually removable, so it's magnetic, and you can spin it around and have it at different orientations on the mic, which is fantastic. But what's great is you can actually just remove that altogether, and it's got a slight little magnet on the back of it, and that actually goes in my helmet, and I have a magnetic strip on the inside of my Shoei helmet, and that fits absolutely perfect, and it's a lot thinner, and actually thinner than the Mic Mini. See, so the Mic Mini's got the clip, and the actual DJI Mic 3 is a little bit thinner without the clip. So is this the best of both worlds? Well, we're going to find out. So what we want to do is I want to do a bit of a test today, and we're going to test the in-helmet audio, so like the way I use the DJI Mic Mini, and then I'm going to test some on-bike audio. So what I'm hoping is that this one microphone is going to replace these two that I've always used. So join me for the test. If this saves you doing some testing and helps make up your mind that the DJI Mic 3 is something that you might add to your channel, and the fact that it can replace two different microphones, or you just add it, it's up to you. Just to note that I bought this as a standalone unit, so when you buy it as a standalone unit, and obviously one thing to note, this doesn't come with a USB-C, so how do you get the audio from the 32-bit float recording onto your computer? Well, you get this little cradle. Now this cradle looks exactly like the DJI Mic Mini one, but they're not compatible. They're completely different. I have tried, so this won't charge on the Mic Mini cradle, and the Mic Mini won't charge on this cradle. And all you do is you pop that in there, it's magnetic, and you plug the USB-C into your laptop, and you can pull the file off that way. So still super easy. If you have the case and you have the full set, then what you do is you just plug the actual charging case USB-C into your computer, and you can pull the data off there. So it actually still works really well. Anyways, let's get on the bike and let's do some tests and see how it goes. Right guys, so here we go, here's the test. Mount on the GB. A review will follow soon on this bike. I realise I've done a few videos with this bike in it, but I didn't actually introduce it to the channel, so that's coming soon. Anyways, hopefully the audio you're hearing now is the DJI Mic 3 inside the helmet, just inside here. I've got it facing that way, so it's away from my mouth, whereas the DJI Mic Mini, because it had the little clip, it was so close to my mouth, I used to have it right next to it. It used to face my mouth, I couldn't have it any other direction. This fits actually so much better, and it's not pushing against my chin, which is so much nicer. We're getting out now before the rain starts, so this is the first test. Let's get on the bike and I'll talk you through. Now the one thing I really liked about the Mic Mini is that compared to the Mic 2 actually, because I did once test the Mic 2 in the helmet, that the Mic Mini picked up a lot more of the ambient sounds, so the bike sound as well as your voice, more so than the Mic 2 did, and that's with noise cancellation off. So what I'm really hoping is that this Mic 3 is similar to the Mic Mini, and it does do that. Because you don't want to just hear my voice, and that's why I don't want to just put like voice isolation on. You want to hear a bit of the bike, you want to hear a bit about the ambient sounds, right? So that's now with the visor down. How's this sounding? So, you know, we're only doing 30 miles an hour, so it should sound alright at this speed. But what we'll do is we'll go around to some faster roads, get up to some speed and see how that sounds. As I explained, this is at minus 12 dB. So the gain is set at minus 12. The noise cancellation is off. Never used noise cancellation. It just seems to make it a little bit warbled and kind of makes the sound unnatural. I put clipping control because I didn't have that on. I never had that on the Mic Mini. Now I put it on for this test because I don't quite know exactly what it's going to do, but my idea is it'll stop clipping. So, but also I've got 32-bit float recording set on the camera. And what I'll do is I'll put up a quick screenshot, a quick video in here of the settings on the actual camera, because I'm not using the receiver, so I'm doing all the settings on the camera. So I've got the 32-bit floats internal recording or dual recording on, which means not only is it recording straight to the camera, but it's also recording straight to the mic. So you have a backup, which is great. So if this for some reason is distorted because it's too loud, the backup recording should save me. But I'm hoping this is perfect in the camera, because what I don't want to have to do is then have to sync in post. I just want everything to work out the box. Right, so let's get into some faster roads and then see how it sounds. So let's get up to sort of 60 miles an hour and see if you can still hear me okay. So that's 50. How's that sound? Can you still hear me? I'm trying not to talk too much louder than I normally would, and hopefully you can still hear me okay coming through the mic. So that's 50 miles an hour, all good. Right, let's get a little bit faster. Don't tell the law. Alright, 60 miles an hour there. Takes the GB a while to get there. How does that sound? Can you still hear me okay? Hopefully. I mean, if the DJI Mic Mini can handle this, then the DJI Mic 3 should have no problem at all. Does look like it's about to chuck it down with rain. This whole week it says rain, so I'm getting out during my lunch break just to try and avoid it. So for me, like I said, I like to keep my setup as minimalist as possible. It just avoids me buying a load of stuff I don't need for the channel. And I want everything to fit in sort of one case. So, you know, if there's ever an opportunity to reduce something, you know, if one thing can do the thing of two, then I'm going to try that. So that's why I really like the DJI Mic 3 to replace both the DJI Mic Mini and the DJI Mic 2. The DJI Mic 2 is quite a bulky mic, so it's not the best mic to have when you put it on a t-shirt or anything, because it can sort of pull it down a bit. So the DJI Mic 3, in my mind, should be the best. Now, one of the things I have seen on the reviews. Now, this is hopefully going to be one of the first bike tests, because I haven't seen any yet. So I'm hoping to get this out before anybody else does, just for that reason, just to help people out. Obviously, there'll be loads of other bike tests, different bikes. Your helmets and your bike obviously have a big influence on the sound quality, so please just take that into account. But one of the biggest things that people said is missing from the DJI Mic 3, which is a bit of a deal breaker for a lot of people, is that you can't attach a lavalier mic to it like you could with the DJI Mic 2. So you can't like put it in your pocket and then have a lavalier mic to your mouth. Now for my use case, I never really needed that, but I can see that for professionals, non-bike content, I can see the need for that. So but for motorcycle content, to avoid all the wires and everything else, it just becomes a bit of a hassle. This is probably perfect. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to crack on, and I'm going to get off the bike and hopefully this is enough testing. I've done up to 60 mile an hour. I can't imagine there's many occasions where you'll be riding 70 mile an hour and want to vlog, so I'm not going to test that, but I think if you can hear me at 60, you'll probably hear me at 70. Right, mate. So what I'm going to do is now get off the bike and try it for some bike audio. So the first test I'm going to do is in the side pocket of my backpack. So let's find a spot to pull over. I can't even see through my mirrors. And let's try that out and see how that sounds. Right guys, so hopefully you can hear me. So what I've done is, if you can see that, is I've got this big dead cat, big moth, and I'm sticking the Mic Mini now, DJI Mic 3 straight into that, just to give it a little bit of extra wind protection. Don't know whether it makes much of a difference. And that is now going to go on the right hand side of my backpack. Press the button. Hopefully that's enough wind protection behind me. Right guys, so this is the final test. So basically I had that in the backpack in the right hand pocket at -12. All the other settings are fine, were the same, noise cancellation off and all that kind of stuff. Now the last test I'm going to do that worked really well for the DJI Mic 2, but one thing I want to just point out is that on here I've actually used the magnet from the DJI Mic Mini rather than the actual magnet that came with the DJI Mic 3. It just doesn't seem as strong. And also the DJI Mic 3, I found that it spins around a lot, whereas the DJI Mic Mini, it's actually a thicker magnet, and it actually has a bit more friction, so it'll hopefully keep the mic and give me a little bit more confidence. So that's just one thing to note. I'm not quite willing to try with the DJI Mic 3 magnet. It just didn't feel as strong. It definitely wasn't as strong as the Mic 2, in my opinion. So the mic is still on the Swingarm, which is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to cut this test short because it's started to rain. It's always typical. I finally get out for a ride and it didn't say rain, but I mean, if you look at the clouds, there's definitely rain coming. Great. Looks like autumn has arrived. Now my previous video makes sense to a lot of people. Anyways, let's go back to the studio and see what the results were. Hopefully this can replace the DJI Mic 2 and the DJI Mic Mini. See you in a minute. So I'm actually pretty impressed with the results. I think if you agree, I think the in-helmet mic sounds pretty good at -12. That's obviously as low as it goes. The only issue I had is that you could hear quite a lot of my breathing. So I think I need to play with it, just moving it away a little bit further away from my mouth. But I think it sounds pretty good. Up to 50-60 mile an hour, you can still vlog absolutely fine. I'd put it on par with the DJI Mic Mini. It did give you a bit more of the background sound, which sounded pretty good. In terms of the bike audio, so for like those POV rides, the backpack actually worked really, really well. So if you're a little bit concerned about losing the mic, I guess that's a really good option. In using the extra dead cat, I think really helped. But for me, I think the Swingarm sounded the best, and it held on quite well. The only issue with that is obviously if it's raining, etc. If you're riding in damper conditions or muddy, etc., you might not want it on your Swingarm. So then at least the backup is your backpack. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think is the for the POV side. What sounded better to you? I felt like the Swingarm sounded a little bit more tinny, maybe a bit more of the transmission noise. Whereas the backpack a little bit more muffled, but I don't think it was too bad. And actually, the GB350 sounds great on that. So it'll be interesting for me to test it on the Bonneville. Anyways, overall, I think really positive test, and I'm really, really happy with that. So the DJI Mic 3 is going to replace 2 microphones for me. So if you guys are interested in starting a vlog, etc., there we go. So choose you either pick up a DJI Mic 2 or Mic Mini secondhand and save yourself a bit of money, or go for the DJI Mic 3. Completely up to you. I think it's definitely worth an upgrade. Alright guys, if you like this, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.